a golden book on the bookshelf.
Intelligence, investigation, or wits and awareness, whichever you prefer.
Oh, you know I ain't that smart.
I like to just give you options.
I know.
Damn, you are a hungry boy.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to re-roll the 2?
Oh yeah, I can do that, can't I? When I have so few dice, I don't even bother looking at what numbers are on them.
Would you like success at cost?
Yes.
Okay. Thurston rummages through the shelves, checking various tomes of knowledge and books. He's finally able to work out which book to pull by looking at the state of the novels and realizing that one, the complete account of Nephron Ka, is lacking as much dust as any of the others. He pulls on the novel as the bookcase swings open, revealing the golden room inside. Aside from the sandstone arches and golden casts of cats, the grand room is empty. On a shelf is a collection of jars, one of which he recognizes immediately, and is able to recognize it as the one that matches the one that Clara gave to him. Thurston reaches out for the jar, and as he does so, the familiar voice of Patricia rolls out behind him. And you will be taking 1 humanity stain for rummaging around in a brothel and stealing from the poor. Meanwhile, to confuse you all, Patricia...
You said one?
One humanity stain,
stain?
yeah.
Okay.
Patricia, in the Grand Hall, approaches Aldric. She swings her hips like a heavy pet. Sorry. Please carry on.
Go ahead. You're doing a cool introduction.
You know you're doing well when the guy from Tablegoth says it. Patricia swings her hips like a heavy pendulum as she enters in, drawing the attention of every single member of the crowd in the Grand Hall, using her modest gifts to the best of her abilities. She makes sure that everyone can see as she slides a finger across the wooden table and places herself opposite Aldric, placing her modestly pretty face in her hands and leans across the table. Aldric, good evening.
Trisha, you are, as always, a sight for sore eyes. I am here to flatter you and perhaps persuade you to join business with someone like me. As things have been working out quite well between us, my group and your group, that is. And Miss Eveline had nothing but good things to say about you. Quite interested in your proposal. And I just want to be of service to you. I want to support you in the way that I support Miss Eveline and everything she does.
Tell me more about how you would service me in this joining.
Well, I see that you know what you're doing here, and you do it quite well. You're providing something that, while many try to provide, aren't quite able to reach this caliber. Reports from some of my coterie that there's some very interesting things you can do with your clientele. People may be appearing not as they are. And that's where I become interested, as I also dabble in such, I don't want to say tricks, features of my establishments.
I see.
Now, unfortunately, in this day and age, it's quite hard for a woman, let alone a woman of your background, to enjoy the success she deserves. And I want to see you have everything you deserve.
You're not the first to come in here and say exactly those same words. What makes you so different from anyone else?
It's quite a long list, but believe maybe I can succeed where others failed, right? Many people have words. I'm more of a man of action. If there's anything you'd like me to show you to prove my worth, I'm happy to do so.
It might come to you, showing me your, how did you say it, worth? And proving your actions. But again, what makes you so different? Do you really think you're the first man, or even woman, to come in here and promise me the world, and yet here I am still?
Well, differences are. I have the ability to truly be whatever it is you need me to be, right? Now, I may not be the first man or woman. I have the feeling I am the first kindred. At least one is set in our society as I am. So I don't have the same old-fashioned views many of my brethren have when it comes to you and your clan.
So what exactly do you think you can offer me that I simply couldn't take?
Well, one, longevity, right? Someone like you, operating in a city like this, it's only a time before the wrong person notices. And I'm sure you can handle your own for most of those, but I'm sure most of us understand that once it gets high enough on the chain, there's not much you can do about it, right?
Are you trying
You
to
need
say
security. Yes?
You trying to say you can offer me protection?
I am a man who casts a long, long shadow, and I am simply offering that shadow for you to operate in without being seen.
My, you do seem to have the whole package, don't you? Longevity, a long, long shadow, the ability to prove your worth. But again, what makes you think I'm in danger?
Sorry, I just made the mistake of looking at the chat. Makes me think you're in danger. Wait, are we sitting at like a table?
Yeah. It's like a picnic bench dealy thing, all in one, and lots of people around.
I would like to take one of my fingers, make one of them into, use some Sectitude to make it more like a claw. And I just want to draw a very simple sun on the table to arouse. I get hungry.
Okay.
Is there... Are we in a private area?
No.
I won't do the other thing. Yeah, I just want to do that.
Okay.
You know, the sun shines quite bright here in London. Should that sun decide to shine on you, should Mithras decide, understand that you're here, what can you do? I cannot even protect you from that. No one can. As I said, I offer you a shadow, not a shield.
What did you draw, a half moon or a full moon?
No, a sun.
A sun. And you'll notice that she takes one hand down, and you'll hear the clicking of bone and stretching of skin, and notice that one of her fingers has also turned claw-like itself. And she'll start drawing on the sun, a symbol of like a cloud, and obscure half of it as if it were an eclipse. And you seem to forget that the moon can overcast the sun. But I like your spirit. It has been, at least a day, maybe a night and a day, since someone came in here offering me the stars.
Do you mean to tell me you have a way of having this moon? You have a way of eclipsing Mithras himself? On that fact, I should not be asking for a partnership. I should be begging to serve you.
You should. Many do. And at that point, we're going to flip over to Thurston, because I'm getting far too turned on.
It's weird because he's doing it to himself.
And Patricia,
so I'm in the...
who is in the golden room with you, says to you, "Now just what is your interest in that jar in particular?"
I'm still invisible, right? Or does it not matter?
Unseen passage get broken if you do something significant to break it? Like moving a book or something? Or is it just loud noise that breaks it?
I think it's a loud noise.
Loud noise, okay. And looking at the character sheet, no, it won't matter.
Okay.
I knew there was a reason I wrote it in there. I just didn't write the reason in.
Well, as like you, I also am a collector, and I own the other half. I was coming to claim this one.
Number one, don't liken yourself to me. You're far, far beneath me. Number two, isn't it the other way around? I have the first half, and you have my half.
Well, I don't know which half is which.
It's simple.
But I want them both.
I'm in here demanding things like any other man would. But you have no ground to stand on here. This is not a man's world. This is my world. I'm a strong, independent woman. You don't get no heart.
Shit, you really put me in a predicament, didn't you?
No, you put yourself in a predicament.
That's fair.
And we'll flip back to Aldric, because I think Thurston's deep in thought.
That's one word for it.
Now perhaps we might be able to come to some sort of arrangement. Protection is already well in hand here. Security, or perhaps should I say consequence, is something of an open hole. Do you have ways? I said it. Do you have ways that you might be able to collect on debts owed?
I'm a bit disappointed. That's like a challenge, and that sounds too easy. But very much, I have quite a system in place for such a thing.
Then if it is easy, surely you would only ask something small in return. Pray tell what that is, sir.
I mean, what do any of us want? Money usually, but I guess I do have quite a bit of that. More than I can really spend at this point. I just want a partnership. For now.
Now, when you say a partnership, with me personally, or this business?
Well, you are quite flattering. And quite stunning. My heart only has room for business. And I'm quite intrigued on how you do what you do. So, I guess really it'd be more of exchange of a behind-the-scenes look, let's say, at your operation.
You want to know how to run a brothel?
I want to know how you have people who can be so specific to your clients' needs. How Evelyn saw her nanny, of all people here. So on and so forth.
Do for me. Do for me charisma and persuasion.
Oh no. Would this be more... So, my intention here, while this would be interesting, I truly am mostly trying to distract for Thurston's sake.
Do you want to do
He's not going to
manipulation
turn down a
subterfuge?
business deal? Yeah, because I'm not trying to be genuine at all.
Yep, okay. I was tempted by manipulation subterfuge at first, but yeah. That makes sense to me as well.
Thank you, kind storyteller. Four.
Perhaps we can reach a modest agreement. If Evelyn earns the right to learn how to do such a thing, I will permit her to teach the secret to you.
Oh, I didn't think modesty was your type of thing, but I agree to this modest agreement.
There's a time and a place for almost everything, including modesty.
Of course. Shall we shake on it? Might not be a custom for you, but it makes me feel quite better after a business deal.
I have a different approach.
I'll take her hand in his good hand. Apply just a little bit of pressure. It will kiss her fingers. Speaking of Evelyn, should anything happen to her, all bets are off.
I assure you she will be quite safe with us.
Perfect. That's all I ask. He'll release her hand.
Thurston!
Yes.
How are you going to get yourself out of this one?
It was the last thing she said to me, something about this little woman's world, right?
Would the
Yes.
bugs come back to me at any point if Thurston was caught?
If not, I was about to do something with them.
Now, the problem with that is the door's been closed.
They'd be able to wriggle under a door.
Yeah, that seems fair to me.
Can leave it to a roll too if you want.
No, I think it's fair to just say they can wiggle under a door. No, excuse me, while I'm
Yeah,
doing this, I
because
set up the overlay at the same time. I'm sorry.
yeah, because if they hadn't left on their own accord, I would have, during conversation, coaxed them into doing so. You... No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask, what are you going to do about this one then, Thurston?
Oh. Well, I'm kind of now buying time as the bugs alert, Aldric. You say as if this world belongs to particular people. No, that's not the way I wanted to go. You say this is a woman's world as if that really matters. It is whoever's world that is in charge, is it not?
It is, and here I am in charge.
Well, this is not the entire world, is it?
For all intents
It's
and purposes
merely yours.
right now, and for your own safety, it is. You wish to possess this jar?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, she's casting Ore, which is free. Perhaps we can come to an agreement. I want you to tell me everything about your coterie and who is most important to all of them.
That's a tricky question. So I'm compelled to do this? Is there a role, or...?
Not currently compelled to, no.
Okay.
You can
No.
resist if you so wish.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and resist.
Okay. Do for me. Resolve and insight.
So... Insight. That... For me, anyway.
Eight.
Wait, what?
With Ore.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I see. I got you. So now I'm compelled.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you are literally in awe of this grand woman.
Well, I could not tell you who is most important to everyone. I think everyone in my coterie has different motivations for different reasons. But of all of us, I feel like Aldric carries the most weight.
Sit with me. Tell me everything you possibly can. And then we'll do a time skip and say, you unload a decent amount of information upon her, and she will grant to you the jar. And then you will be allowed to go back through and into the main brothel.
I remember everything, right?
Yes, but good point. Thanks for that.
Oh, shit.
She's going to use entrancement. Motherfucker. Better believe I'm rerolling.
Doesn't feel great, does it? Damn it.
And you need to do Composure Wits.
That's not too bad. No, I clicked.
That's going to go to Patricia as the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells you to not tell anyone that you have revealed their secrets. And then you will be allowed to go back into the brothel and meet up with Aldric.
Well, I'll just say to play that because this might affect a different thing we have going on with entrancement. So entrancement wears off, doesn't it? So I remember that's what young man used on Aldric, and I've had in the back of my head Aldric knowing, or essentially not feeling all warm and fuzzy towards young man after the effect wore off.
It lasts an hour, and then an hour.
Yeah, I'm totally cool playing it otherwise, but just wanted to know for it might affect something in the very near future.
I think it would have worn off by the time that you would be in the carriage on the way back, if there's anything you wish to talk about at that point, or if you wish to talk about it in the Grand Hall. It would, yeah. I don't think you'd linger.
No. It would totally work as a band-aid to the situation, but assuming we'd find out later. Oh, Thurston.
Not his fault, in fairness.
No, it's not.
But still, oh, Thurston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, shall we move along? Very well.
Although, what would happen with the bugs? So they would still know he got caught.
Bugs would have bugged out the moment he was caught and scraped their way under the door, but wouldn't know about anything post then with the entrancement.
Right, so when Aldric's in there, he would get a message essentially that Thurston's been caught. Yes. But then Thurston would probably just come out shortly after.
Yeah, then I'd just show up and act like everything's normal. Yeah.
A lot of things aren't making sense to Aldric. Okay.
Anything you two wish to discuss in a carriage ride on the way back, or would you like me to move on?
Well, if you say that it wore off by the time we got to the carriage ride.
Yeah.
Well, Aldric, I would like to say that it went well, but as most of our 20-minute adventures go, it did not.
Right. And assuming you would have said everything that happened, would you have told them that you told her about Aldric?
Yeah, I essentially would have said that either the Patricia you spoke to wasn't the real one, or there was another that greeted me when I opened the secret door, and then I would exposit all the information.
Listen.
What? She was really powerful. I tried my hardest to resist.
I know. I'm not blaming you. We, not just you, seem to have been outplayed in this situation. Now, that doesn't make me feel any better. In fact, I'm quite furious. If there was anyone else sitting in this carriage besides just you and me, I would be beating their face into a pulp right now. But it's no use making a bad night worse.
Indeed.
we need to decide what to do from here. We might have just ruined our whole play with the Setites. But I'm more curious that they let you go, right? And you have what you went there for?
Yes, I believe it was her form of exchange, a physical item for information.
Right, so she just essentially made her reinvented the terms and had you pay in a way for it. But the price was information about me, Thurston. How does that seem fair?
Yes.
And what do I get out of all this exchange?
Well, the way she worded it, she wanted the most influential person in the Coterie. And I know Evelyn shouts that she is the greatest singer in London, and the inspector's the most well-known inspector in the city, but I think with all of your property and possessions, it kind of points directly at you.
Listen, if you're trying to flatter me, I do appreciate it. But to say I'm the most important in the coterie, in this particular coterie, isn't really saying much. No offense, right, to the rest of you. Either way, let's talk about this thing you have and who wants it and why. Isn't it? It's a heart in a jar.
Half a heart in a jar.
Half a heart in a jar. Right. So what's the purpose of this particular item, right? I know parts. I'm gonna just really look at the jar, see if I notice anything special about it.
I mean, you can't see through the jar or anything.
I don't know.
I mean, I'll pop it open. I'll just...
That works. And you will instantly recognize half a heart.
Well, it's not even the full thing, Thurston. Wait, what's going on with this?
Well, you see, I believe that the ritual that allowed her to do this split it in half, and she was keeping that half as payment. And I got it back because someone didn't want that payment used against them.
Oh, this is Clara's heart.
I mean, it's part of my own as well, if you could say that.
Right. So this is important to Clara. And so Clara already is dealing with these individuals. That's interesting. We can use that, right? She's working with the Nosferatu. Yeah. But not on good terms, because the Nosferatu are using other Nosferatu to take things back from them.
Yeah, really fun, interesting fact was you know how the people disguised as people we know specifically asked if we were planning on hurting Patricia.
Right.
It seemed very deliberately asked the same way by each and every one of them. When I first spoke to Clara about Patricia, that was also one of the first things she asked me, was if we were planning on hurting her. I don't know if there's an underlying pattern to that. Maybe, in my opinion, I think maybe Patricia's empire is born on keeping people under her toes, if you will.
Are you positive that the Clara you spoke to was in fact Clara?
Well, yes, because she did not want Patricia to know that she wanted the other half back either.
Alright. Either way, this is potentially quite dangerous. So I think the only thing working in our favor is that Patricia, maybe justifiably, but either way, doesn't really see us as a threat. I think she's genuinely interested in Evelyn, and I think she thinks we're just two silly men who are getting in over our heads, and she might be right. So let's hope. Go ahead.
Speaking of Evelyn, I do remember. You remember how Evelyn was acting strangely last week?
No.
Something about, uh, it's a woman's job, only I can do it, yada yada yada.
I do not think that's strange behavior for Evelyn, but I do remember that conversation, yes.
No, but the new terms and phrases she was using was intriguing to me. I noticed Patricia was also using similar rhetoric when I tried to defend why I wanted the vial back for myself.
Right, maybe her loyalties are more to do with the sisterhood than the Setites.
Maybe.
Also good to know. Which could explain, right? Because I work with the Setites, except my group doesn't really know much. I'll work with this group. So maybe this is sort of a society within a society sort of thing. Interesting.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she doesn't want what... I don't know what to do with this one, Thurston. I really don't. What I want is more information, and you're the person who's supposed to be able to get it.
Oh, yes, I'm trying to put together little things here and there from what I got since she made me pay such a high price. I find it fascinating that she's so infatuated with making sure that women are on top.
Either way, she wants to shake things up, and I'm inclined to agree.
I mean, either way.
The only person I've ever met who can command more respect or fear, who could twist people to the whim than me, would be my mother. So I think Patricia's onto something. Either way, I don't want to make an enemy of her, but I fear we need to tread very, very carefully now that we've been caught. Or you've been caught. But they might understand that I was there with you.
Yes, to temper that allegiance a bit, I would worry that with her views on men, no matter how much helping we do for her, if we do end up forming an alliance, I do believe she will try to pull the rug out from under you once you achieve your goals.
Right, I suppose it depends on her stance. I can be whatever I want to be, right?
Yes,
and maybe,
just
maybe,
work together.
I could send another woman in to learn more. One a bit more predictable and controllable than Evelyn. And one that isn't too fond of men in general on account of her former husband.
Ah, I see.
Food for thought, Thurston. Food for thought. Alright, either way, what did Clara promise in return for you returning the heart?
I mean, I wouldn't say she directly promised, but I did ask her, after telling her I was partaking in this mission, that we are looking for some very hard to acquire information about Roger DeCamden. I remembered his name this time.
You did! Well done!
Alright. Well, if you're going to use this boon to help the Coterie, I see no reason to inject myself in the equation. I'll put the heart back in the jar, twist it, and hand it back to him.
Shall we go meet up with the others?
Let's.
As they travel through the city, in the Whitechapel house itself, in Evelyn's room, Sarah Lynn is attending to her mistress as the two converse. So, Mistress, you were talking about some new society you recently joined that empowers women, you say?
Yes! Where the women, quite literally have power. More power than men. We don't need men at all.
What a lovely change. Not too soon, I may say. We as women have been far too long in the shadows, neglected and overruled in favour of men simply because of our gender.
Exactly. I've heard in America women are trying to get the right to vote.
Actually, that's here.
Oh, really? Started
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Anyway. I've heard women are trying to get the right to vote.
It's far too common that women are oppressed and told what to do and think. We are but second-class citizens and supposed to be grateful for it.
Exactly. I'm tired of being told what to do.
Mistress, that reminds me. It's been a bit of time since last I was able to have some special medicine from you. Would now be a good time to ask, please?
Give me just a moment. And I'll turn away from her, cut open my wrist, put some in the glass, and offer it to her.
Pulse check for me, please. Now, hunger.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mistress. You're so good to me. Now, you were saying about the independence of women to your enslaved ghoul?
Well, I feel like I'm just preaching to the choir here. But this is the next step to liberation.
And we shall move on and allow you to have your conversation. We shall allow you to have your... Wow, after that, I'm sorry. Don't hurt me. The Coterie gather together in the meeting room, and as always, Eveline glides in, making sure she is the last one to enter, making a grand display as she places herself within her seat, as the group prepare to discuss their plans and how they may begin to approach gathering evidence on Roger DeCamden. No sooner have they all sat down when there is a knock at the door. The door to the meeting room is gently opened, and slowly entering is Sarah Lynn, who curtsies to the Coterie. She enters and speaks directly to Eveline. Mistress Eveline, there is someone at the door requesting to enter and meet with you all. She says her name is Nara.
Yes, bring her in.
Wait, what? And I guess, I do have permanent heightened senses. Would I have heard that?
We're in the same room.
I mean, yeah. You're all in the meeting room right now, and you would have heard the knock at the door. And...
All of us?
I didn't know if she was like whispering it to Eveline or not.
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh, that is, not what... Eveline, you know who that is, right? That's the woman from before.
Excuse me,
Is there
what?
a reason we shouldn't let her in?
There is.
I her company.
I kind of did, but right. Remember what I had to do to make sure she didn't know about our other friend, a friend that might be in this room, might literally be this room.
Oh, then you keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
I said shut.
She has a way of. She heard.
No.
Right, she was able... she can do things that I don't understand it, and I don't like that. But she sensed, I heard, when he spoke to us. Right, she might be hearing him right now. We're not supposed to let people know about that. Are you going to kill her if we let her in?
No.
Please explain to me in detail why not.
This one
No.
belongs to me. Now.
But
He's
Bess
being
said
rather
twice
reasonable
tonight
today.
now. Oh, really?
Right, she belongs to... What?
Maybe that's why she was able to hear him before. Which is another thing. This individual has many things I don't understand, and it makes me nervous. So, let's see what she wants to say. But, alright, we stand united in the fact that we might have to send her away.
Perhaps. No. Perhaps we are not the only kindred bound to Endymion. We did receive the assistance from a Endymion cultist some nights back.
Well, when she spoke about seeing dark tendrils from that house last week, she did say she saw it on us as well. I can probably imagine Endymion used that to his advantage and latched onto her as well.
Right, Endymion, would you agree that there's a certain hierarchy amongst us who serve you?
Yes.
Right, and we can agree that while she is one of yours, that I'm still sort of in charge among this. Under you, of course.
You belong to me.
I think that was a
All
no.
right. No, it was not a no, Thurston. As long as she understands. I think I see a lot of potential in this one. Which could be interesting, but be dangerous. Specifically to my position.
Well,
But-
she's already part of the club. Might as well let her in anyway.
Right. Part of the club, but not the coterie yet. And if she is to be part of the coterie, we all agree that there's a certain order to things, right? And that is, we'll glance at Eveline. Myself and Eveline as co-leaders of the coterie, right?
I'll go with that.
Would you
I
agree,
never knew it was-
Thurston?
I guess I never knew it was going to be this formal, but okay.
Well, it didn't need to be, right? Because we were all just pals. We were all just a group of friends. But now, with an outsider coming in, we might need to establish things. Because it's a dangerous game we're playing.
Very well, I suppose I'll get the door. And I'll step away from the group and go open the door.
When he does that, I'm just going to turn to Thurston. And that's why we see Inspector Gray is the lowest in the pecking order, as he's answering the door for us.
Okay, we can both agree on that, yeah.
I'll stop and turn. Aldric, I'd be inclined to disagree.
Right, Inspector, I could have swore you out of the room. This is the first time you've been successfully sneaky in quite some time, and I'm disappointed it was on me.
3 times he's been bested tonight. Answering the door then,
Good
Inspector
evening.
Gray. There we go. Thank you.
Yes, good evening. We haven't met yet. I'm, Gray. You can call me Gray.
Oh, you're new. A new voice. And the woman that you see has long raven black hair that's tied up in various Celtic braids. The rest of it's let loose down her back. She's wearing a black corset dress with a black base and cream white layer at the top that falls midway, with a curved ruffle end to give bulk and shape of the bustle. There's a cream white top layer that's long-sleeved with satin frills over the hands. She's gloveless and has small golden rings on her fingers and black markings of intricate patterns that are hard to make out from afar, and a black velvet jacket thrown over and left open to show off the cream white top. And her eyes are a milky white. She's looking at you, but not entirely. It looks almost as though she's looking through you, into your soul, even. Ah, yes, a new voice indeed. I'm Nara. Pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance as well. Gray has a vest top coat, like one of the frock coats. Right this way. I'll lead you to the rest of the coterie. I take it you've already met them?
Yes, I have. May I? She reaches out for your arm to grab hold of.
I would lead her back to the rest of the Coterie then.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
You are a gentleman. I appreciate that.
Was something supposed to play?
Fine, carry on.
Something's broken.
Yes, thank you. It quite appreciative for that to be recognized. I will lead her into the room, and here is our guest for the evening. Evelyn, Thurston, Aldric.
Miss Boswell.
Please come have a seat.
Hello again, everyone. It is good to be back. How's everyone been? Any strange occurrences since we last left the house?
No, never.
Well, she feels for a sofa, couch, anything to sit down in, and takes a seat. And she crosses one leg over the other with her cane rested at her side. I do say, I've had quite some interesting nights since then. Things were a little bit foggy. When I left the house, I thought there was something off. Not just with the spirits that we encountered. I recalled the house seemed very drawn to you all. In fact, I found something very interesting that I was searching the bottom level for almost an hour, and it was very boring and quiet. And then you all showed up, and suddenly everything was revealed to me. The house came to life, and there was a voice. Care to explain?
Well, everything's been great since you gave us this crystal. And she holds the crystal out.
Oh, you still have it. That's wonderful. Oh, yeah, that voice. That right there.
You can
Yes.
hear that?
Oh, yes. Ever since leaving the house, it's been an interesting company since I already have one voice to deal with in my head. You know, that lovely predator of ours that we carry. And now this one.
Well,
Singing normally drowns that voice out.
since we're doing
Oh, yeah.
introductions, that voice would be Endymion. He likes
He
to
elbows Thurston really hard.
Listen, why are
If
you
she
always
can
the
hear him,
first
it
to
doesn't
spill
matter.
all of everyone's
If
business?
she can hear him, what's the matter?
You're so
Well, we have to
gathering
investigate
secrets,
why
not
she can
giving
hear
them.
Well,
Needless,
he already claimed.
It matters not.
He's already
needless to
claimed.
say, Thurston here, the quite well-dressed Thurston, is our spy master and keeper of secret.
You exaggerate.
The
Yeah, definitely.
voice in question is quite good friends with our fearless leader, Aldric.
I'm just saying I
Yeah,
noticed a lot of
later.
context clues that revealed that it was okay to tell her.
Thurston, you didn't do anything wrong, Thurston. It's the formality. It's the air of mystery. There's a certain back and forth in these conversations that needs to happen. You can't just jump right out. But, yes.
Well,
I'll go
Thurston-
over
Trust.
to the I'll go over to the chair next to hers, pull it up really close, so we're eye to eye, and I'm staring into her milky eyes, and I gather her hands in mine, and I say, "So glad to have you here, but if you tell anyone, we'll kill you."
Oh, I wasn't planning on to. This will be our little secret.
Yes. Yes, it will.
I
So
Where have you
apologize.
been?
Things were foggy before because I made them foggy, right? I had an
I
inkling that you had... Oh, you know.
Oh, I know. Yes. And I understand. Secrets, of course. This was something very important you didn't want me to know. And I forgive you. This time. Do it again. I may not be so forgiving.
It was nothing personal.
I'll quietly whisper to Thurston, the secrets are those things we don't tell others.
Don't confuse him.
I know what the secret is, Gray.
So yes, how did this come about? This
For us,
demon.
I'm more. How did it come about for you? Right? We reside where I believe the demon holds a portion of his power.
It's beautiful.
What was that?
You should see my room. It's beautiful.
I would love to. Unfortunately, I can only touch, but that's fine.
You should touch my room. It's beautiful.
I would love to feel up your room. Yes, absolutely. But as far as how now I've caught on to everything, I believe us encountering one another was not just a coincidence. Perhaps fate, if you will, is what drew us both there. It was definitely a calling, for sure. An accident, really. I wasn't planning on hearing this voice. It just spoke, and I heard. I heard its call.
Sometimes he doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
Yes, you are very right.
That was your first time hearing the voice, then, was with us.
Yes. I've heard many voices in the past, but this one was quite jarring. Exciting, really. Different.
Right.
You belong to me.
He's been telling me that a lot.
It's quite possessive.
Yes, yes. I definitely get that vibe. I don't exactly know why I suddenly now belong to him. Didn't exactly ask for that. I was just curious, that's all.
Your resistance will be futile.
Yes, he's told me that quite a bit too.
We found early on I resisted quite fervently against this control belonging to anyone didn't really sit with me, but in time I learned that for my particular goals, that to be closely aligned with an entity such as him served me quite well. So, there's a few paths before you, but it really depends on what your goals are, right? In this Demion, if he's decided you're worthy of being one of his champions, that's honestly could be quite an honor and quite beneficial. But it must be navigated carefully, and it must be something I'm not sure if it's something you'd be interested in navigating, because I'm not sure what your goals are. Obviously, curiosity has brought you here, but now you stand at a bit of a crossroads, right? A few different paths lie ahead of you. Some we can help you with, some I can just maybe give you, because I found you quite pleasant, I could give you a warning of what not to do. But to walk this path with us is quite a serious commitment.
I will say I was taken back by it. Of course I'm used to that type of invasion from other spirits that I see and hear. But again, as I said, this one was a lot more intense, aggressive, however you would like to put it. But it definitely made me curious, especially about you all. So I had one of my little helpers do a little bit of research into you all, and that's how I stumbled here. I figured it'd be best to discuss these things with you all since you have more experience with it than I do. And you can show me the ropes about this and maybe explain to me as to what my purpose is exactly for this demon. And how I may help.
Suppose, well, I cannot speak much of purpose, but it is intriguing you were able to track us here. Seems you or your friends are quite good at what you do, and we've seen firsthand that you have a skill set that is sorely needed in this group. But what is it you want in general? Where do you fit into this puzzle in our society, I should say?
Well, I'm definitely interested in making a name for myself, specifically with the business that I own. I'm looking to one day own the largest exhibit of spiritual oddities that I can find. I'm very interested in their stories and the things that come with them. Those spirits, as you know from the house. Which, those items, I have definitely cleansed them and put them in a safe place.
So you're a collector of sorts, and it's infamy you seek? What exactly is the value of spiritual oddities?
Well, as I said, stories, history, a legacy to remember.
It's, Aldric, it's a bit like art, right? Every
Yes!
painting is a story of the artist and the time it was painted. So too are these oddities that she collects.
Exactly.
Very good way of putting it, Thurston. So I found her explanation last time quite disturbing. More palatable to think of it like art. Well, I suppose, you may have won over Thurston, maybe even Eveline here, but the inspector here is almost astute judge of character. I'm not sure you'll be able to get past him. Inspector?
Oh, may I ask a favor of you? And you are absolutely welcome to say no. But may I feel your face?
Pardon, my face?
Yes. I'm a bit at a disadvantage with my eyes, unfortunately.
I suppose, given the situation, that that would be fine. Very well.
Excellent.
I would
Of course.
step forward.
And I gently, as I did with the others, place my hands over his face, tracing every feature that I can, taking in the details. It almost feels like butterfly kisses. It's a very gentle touch.
Oh, right, very well. I hope that assisted you. Now, Aldric, you were saying I'm a rather good judge of character. I certainly like to think so. I'm no expert. I like to think I'm fairly decent. And
I just want to know we're not letting in someone dangerous in our midst. You're used to working with dangerous people and might be able to suss it out.
Well, I would say I'm as dangerous as the rest of you, given our condition.
It doesn't seem as though she's trying to mislead us. Certainly anything's possible, but she can certainly hear Endymion's voice, so whether she likes it or not, Endymion seems to think she belongs here. And I have no reason to think she is trying to obfuscate anything from us or hide anything from us. Perhaps it's possible, but I feel if she has some sort of ulterior agenda or motive, that's something that will need to be sussed out with time.
Oh, I'm simply just a curious soul.
With curious ambitions, to be sure. What was that? Can I fish out the business card I got from her last time? Inspector, does this ring any bells to you? I'm not as versed in what's exactly a paranormal investigator. Is that correct, Miss Boswell? For the Society and for some reason this word has got smudged, but para something research?
It is the Society for Psychical Research.
It's smudged on yours too.
Yeah.
Printing press in front is good then.
In my time as an investigator, I always looked at, myself and the other detectives and investigators, we would investigate, crimes, murders, issues, and things of a concrete nature. Paranormal investigators, on the other hand, seem to deal with things less proven, spirits and the such. I certainly believed them to be quite honestly fake and charlatan. However, given my and all of our current state and the fact that we have interacted with spirits, there's certainly, in unlife, my opinions have changed. I can't deny the existence of the spiritual world.
Excellent.
I was going to say, look at us. If we exist, why not everything else that goes bump in the night?
Indeed, that whole other world that is kept hidden from mundane mortals, that world of darkness that is out.
Door to the meeting room bursts open, and a dishevelled member of Aldric's heavy-handed bursts in, momentarily looks shocked, heads back to the door, knocks it from the inside, and steps forward to the table. Boss, the little theatre you have? It's been it. That really god-awful scary woman, she came down and did something to try and help, but she's been hurt real bad. And the theatre ain't looking too good either. I think you need to come down and have a look yourself, boss.
Which theater?
The little one.
Which one's the little one?
Mine.
Not yours, yeah.
Oh, okay, woo! Okay, you take care of it.
Perhaps this could be a bit of a trial by fire for you, Miss Boswell. Are you interested in... I understand you're interested in the paranormal, and this entity struck your curiosity. But you must understand that most of our day-to-day, night-to-night, I should say, lives, mostly revolve around our duties as Kindred. And I have not seen you at Elysium.
Oh, no. I've been to a few. But unfortunately, given also what comes with my condition, I must do a lot of traveling. So I am not in one place for quite a long time.
Are you Is your presence in the city, shall we say, announced and allowed? Are we harboring someone we should not be by letting you in our midst?
No. I have been announced. No need to worry.
I suppose your ambitions do not lie in the climbing of the societal rungs, then?
Correct.
How do you feel about them as they stand? Because, well, just simply consorting with the demon is enough for the powers that be to destroy us if they were to find out. So you might imagine that our goals do not exactly align with the rest of the Camarillas, will say.
I definitely understand the need for order, and certain rules are for our benefit and survival, even. And even the survival of those who are not like us. But that doesn't mean I agree with everything. And there have been certain things that need to be done to help with my business as well. You, of course, interact with demons. I interact with other creatures as well, so I do what I can to adhere to one rule, and that is the Masquerade.
Of course. I agree with the traditions. Let's say I would like to put myself and the Coterie in a position to do some change from the inside. From the top, if possible.
Oh, change. Do tell. And I lean in a little bit more. You definitely have my interest.
We can discuss the nature of change in its entirety, perhaps a bit later. If it's something that you're interested in, then you're absolutely in the right place. But for now, there might be personal matters to attend to, and we look out for each other in this coterie, right? Something happens with my business, or someone's making trouble for Evelyn, or Thurston's having problems with his girlfriend. We all chip in to help.
It must be lovely to have a group to rely on like this. I've mostly dealt on my own, other than with my sire, of course, who I am close to, and of course my helpers, but other than that, it's just been me.
Are your helpers like us, or are they ghouls?
They are ghouls. I have 2 of them.
I see. Well, as long as you can keep a secret, right? We'd like to keep coterie business in the coterie. And yeah, I'll invite you to tag along. If the rest of you are interested in seeing what's going on in my theater.
Yes, of course. I believe Evelyn has told me about a theater when we had met as well. Is it the same one?
This isn't my theater.
Ah, okay. So wait, do you all have a theater? That's quite
No.
extravagant.
I have a theater, and then, of course, Evelyn is the one who really can do the most with the theater, so I bought one for her. A much nicer one.
Oh.
Mine is more of it's a work in progress. I workshop certain ideas and things there.
Maybe someone got wind of your plans.
That would be very bad. Alright,
Yes.
come along.
Okay.
I have a very nice carriage with plenty of room for all of us.
Lead the way. And I reach out my hand for someone to grab me.
I do not take Aldric's arm this time, leaving him to take hers.
Aldric is not falling for the trap, and he's taking Evelyn's arm as she lets him. There's a moment of hesitation, and those who are good at reading people slight panic as he sees Nara's arm, but quickly looks to Evelyn.
I feel like, yeah, I see Aldric's panic, and I reach out and grab Nara's arm.
Oh, and I
Try
recognize
and
it.
make up for
Oh,
earlier.
Thurston, thank you.
Yeah, you will never
Right.
forget.
He's the only one that's moist.
Yeah.
Moist, wrinkled, like a rhinoceros's anus that's been left in a river for too long.
He's got fancy clothes on.
What, the rhinoceros?
Yeah.
Where the hell did he buy those? And what?
Well, the harpy had a really nice shop. He got a card from her.
Yeah,
they're
let's
also
hop in the
damp.
carriage and go to the little theater.
Is there anything you wish to discuss en route? Oh, I've screwed myself up
Yes.
here. I've got a description. The Coterie head down to Aldric's smaller theatre. The carriage proceeds at speed through London's cobbled streets. As the car rumbles through the city, the Coterie sit inside, and an atmosphere of slight unease fills the air between them all. Is there anything you wish to discuss en route?
Yes. So, Aldric, your business. You said you did workshops, yes?
My businesses are many, but I am trying to do some social climbing. Right, I come from humble stock, but I have people from high society like Evelyn here to show me the way. I am dabbling in the arts now. Typically, medicine is my
Ah. Medicine. And not spiritual oddities, yes?
No, despite I apologize. I have a habit of being quite deceptive with new people, and I put on a bit of a show when we met, and I might have acted incompetent or even scared of the spirits and ghosts and stuff, but that was all, of course, an act. But despite that, I still am not interested in collecting spiritual oddities, as you put it. In fact, I want to see them quite... I want nothing to do with them.
I see. But as Thurston said, they are art.
I have seen how dangerous art can be. Isn't that right, Miss Evelyn?
And heard.
Understandably so. Art can be as dangerous as it is therapeutic, if you will. Did you have a really bad experience that you're so against anything related to the other world?
You'll find my past is quite plain and boring. I'm not a man of mystery, so I'll not bother digging too much. Quite private as well. But no such experience. I've, in fact, never heard of anyone having a good experience when it involves spirits in the soul.
That's unfortunate, because it is possible. They're not all bad. Some are rather sad, and some actually have wonderful stories and memories. It's quite fascinating.
Perhaps I just attract the ones more prone to violence.
I wonder why, listening into that voice again.
I am curious, though. I remember going back to our society. You said you were of Clan Ravnos?
Correct.
Inspector, right? He's more well versed in these sorts of things. Do you know anything of that clan?
Clan Ravnos. Not terribly much. I know, they're not a clan we typically see amongst the Camarilla.
Alright, that is quite rude, Inspector, given her condition, but go on.
Pardon? Whatever do you mean?
Miss Boswell's, her sight is impaired.
Well, yes.
So don't say you don't see them in the... Go on. Tell me about this damn clan.
I'm
It's funny
sorry,
because he
Aldric.
explained it.
I didn't even understand that. Thank you for pointing that out to me. I'll try to be more mindful.
You
Called
can actually see
microaggressions.
her eyes roll. Just like this joke.
Um,
Here we go.
Well, Aldric, it's typically not a clan you hear amongst the Camarilla. Much like my own, my clan's an independent clan. Other clans are not typically involved in the day-to-day of the Camarilla, and the Uavnos, from my understanding, tend to be more nomadic, so they tend to not get as involved in power structure games, much like the Ventru clans, which are very familiar.
Well, seems we quite the
Yeah, but
opposite
you're right.
if the stereotypes are to be held true.
The carriage finally
For the
pulls
most
up.
parts,
Oh, sorry.
I have aligned myself. I've aligned myself primarily for protection and aid in what I do, as well as because of my nomadic tendencies and my condition. It's important that I can claim certain havens around the area.
It's quite
It was just
interesting.
easier.
So we can help you with that.
Is that so?
We'll see how the night goes, of course.
Very well.
The carriage finally pulls up outside the theatre, and a lineup of Aldric's gang guard the entrance on the street to prevent any prying eyes or anyone entering inside. And at this point, we'll come to a break. We shall be back as soon as we can.
My language, because we're friends now, right?
Of course.
She's bitchy.
Have
Sounds
Have
like
I-
she may have a breakdown.
have I met this scary woman?
Oh, hey, she's the one who
Never.
works. Yeah, she's the host at my den.
Oh, I see. Is she a ghoul of yours? Kindred or kind?
Of a sort, right?
Huh. Very well.
Does she normally have outbursts like this?
Yes.
Ah,
But what's not normal is something exploding people in my properties.
It's in poor taste.
very.
So let us proceed.
The theatre doors are ripped off their hinges, and smashed pieces of glass are showered all over the floor. It crunches under the Coterie's feet as they walk into the remains of the entrance foyer, finding everything completely smashed and gutted. Blood spatters are upon the wall, and still dribbling down slowly from their impacts. The Coterie proceed forward into the main performance area, finding the seats mostly ripped out, forming a circle in the centre of the area. The grand curtains either side of the theatre stage have been ripped down, and the floor is stained, soiled with spilled blood. And there, in the centre of the chaos, is the maimed body of Inezka, her right arm ripped off as she sits with her back to one of the many chairs ripped out, with a look of anger and thunderous rage upon her blood-soaked face, partially obscured by the blood-soaked black hair over her right eye.
Question. I wouldn't recognize her, right? Because she's been changed? Okay. That's right.
I ignore Inezka and run up to inspect the stage to make sure it's okay.
Do you have Sense the Unseen?
I do not.
Okay.
But I do.
Roll
Which is
Sense
what
the
I was
Unseen
going
for
to
me,
do
please.
next. What was that?
Roll Sense the Unseen for me, please.
Yes. Oh, do. And then the modifier for that is there a modifier for that?
No modifier.
No. Okay. Still getting used to this.
Wonderful. You see upon the stage an unknown
Did it
kind of
go through?
energy
Oh, there we go.
and projects itself into the air. It looks like a man's upper torso. He bears a tall hat with a golden snake on the outline of it. He has some kind of golden guard that extends from shoulder to shoulder and bears a blue jewel in the centre. The man is holding a strange, small, whip-like object in his right hand and a small, crooked cane in the other.
Aldric, is this your
Right, let me.
scary lady?
That's one and the same. Let's see what's happened. What is the name she's going by? I forgot her actual new name.
Can't remember. You named her, though, didn't you?
I thought I let her name herself. I thought I let her choose her appearance and name herself.
Scary lady it is, then.
Something. Maybe I did. Something came up, but I don't remember. I think.
Let's go with Lilith then for now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check to see if she's okay. I asked her if she's okay. Well, what happened here? Are you all right?
Should be holding up my right arm. A monster. He must have been heavily injured already. He wore heavy bandage as he burst into the theatre. She'll cough up a little blood. He said nothing, just began to wreck the place. He killed anyone that dared get in his way. I know not what happened to the bodies. I fought him best I could, but he overwhelmed me. It was unlike anything I had encountered before. Tore off my arm with ease. The monster inside of me rose to the surface and it took control. Don't know what happened until it went dormant once more, and I find myself here as you see me now, the creature gone.
Getting a description of it, does it sound like a werewolf?
Nope.
Perhaps it's some sort of kindred that suffered terrible burns, and that's why it's covered in bandages.
Even in her injured state, you will see her roll her eyes heavily.
There's curiosities and exhibitions with mummies. Was it a mummy?
Perhaps. I'm not terribly familiar.
Either way, you put yourself in great peril for the sake of my property, and I appreciate that. We will take it from here. Do what you need to do to get yourself better. Is there anything I can do for you?
I'll think about it, Master.
Right. Rest. Think about how I could be in service for your brave deeds.
She leans heavily on her left arm, gets to her feet, and manages to limp away out of the theatre.
Don't forget to have supper.
She'll stop halfway through, turn her head slightly looking back at you, and then limp forwards on, shaking her head, mumbling to herself, "Not worth it. Ain't worth it, ain't worth it."
It's not a bad idea, Evelyn. I'm quite famished myself.
Yeah. Right, we forgot to eat on the way here. So engaged in conversation, but that's alright. The creature she described, is it ringing any bells for the rest of you?
Should I do a occult check to see if it sounds like something I might have heard about?
What's your occult level?
2.
Yeah, roll. Would you prefer intelligence
I
or
also
wits?
have no, I have an occult of 3.
Same.
Okay, those with a cult of 3. Some mummy.
Oh, mummy. Interesting. Don't think I've encountered one of those yet.
I believe I saw one at the museum once. I don't think it could do that, though.
Oh, an old decrepit thing covered in wrappings. It's killing things.
The only ones I've ever seen were laid to rest in a sarcophagus.
I want to look around and see if I can see any any clues or any signs that might help confirm this.
Okay, let me also repeat because Ash missed it. First of all, with Sense the Unseen, an unknown kind of energy glows over the center stage and projects itself into the air. It looks like a man's upper torso. He bears a tall hat with a golden snake on the outline of it. He has some kind of golden guard that extends from shoulder to shoulder and bears a blue jewel in the center. The man is holding a strange, small whip-like object in his right hand and a small, crooked cane in the other.
Ah, it's an apparition that I see.
It's leftover energy.
Like an echo.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I will relay that to the rest of the group.
And as you finish relaying that over, your eyes gloss over heavier than they already are, as Vitae rushes to your eyeballs and mind. You are overcome with a brief, flashing image. You return back to the theatre and know that you have exhausted all the potential clues here.
I don't think we'll be getting anything more out of here. Should try looking elsewhere.
This thing you're seeing, is it you can communicate with?
I'm not. He's just like floating, standing there, doing its thing.
It's just sort of faintly there and slowly fading away.
Slowly fading away. I'm gonna try to speak to it. Hello, excuse me there, sir.
And it just fades away like ash in the wind.
He's gone now.
Tears in the rain.
No, it wasn't wet.
I mean,
All we are is dust in the...
well, at least that thing's gone. I mean, it clearly is not here anymore. I want to know why it came here in the first place. All the places to start trouble. Why me? Why here? Are we able to track where this thing went? Are there more echoes of this thing to follow, or perhaps more physical clues, Inspector? Inspector, you're gonna have to speak up.
Well, I will see what I can see. I'll use Sense the Unseen. I imagine I won't see anything because it's faded.
Okay, roll Sense the Unseen for me, please. Come on,
Um,
beast. We want the beast roll here.
Oh god.
All the nights to forget to feed, yeah. I thought about that, but I'm like, you know what? That's going to make this more fun.
One moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, but at Blood Potency 2, I can re-roll discipline, like first level disciplines, right? But no,
yeah,
that's
Blood
just for the
Potency
roused.
2.
Yeah, that might just, I think that's just for the roused one discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. There's no roused needed.
Yeah, level 1.
You add 1 dice to disciplines, yeah.
Blood Potency 2 is add 2 dice.
Or 2.
Was that already factored in?
Yes. As long as you use... Yeah. As long as you use the... On the sheet, under powers, it'll automatically add in the Blood Potency dice.
Yeah, there's
It
definitely
should
an
do.
extra dice.
Hopefully the API has been updated because the Blood Potency chart got updated, and it's been nearly a year, so hopefully...
It should. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, add 1 dice. Okay. It's right. I imagine I don't see anything.
Oh, it's Blood Surge I was looking at for 2 die. Yep, sorry. Can't
Yeah,
even
but
read
the
my own bloody
discipline
cheat
power
sheets.
bonus, it's 1 as well.
Are
Me
there other
read
rooms?
no well.
What was that?
Are there other rooms here?
There's
Oh, there's the green room, and I rush off.
Well,
I follow. Attach her because of the like arm wavering.
I was
That's like
thinking
what?
more blood splatter, or trail, or footprints, or something of the sort, but seems Eveline's got a hunch.
Aldric,
I'll run back, grab Nara's hand, and just kind of pull her along, probably a little too fast.
While they're inspecting the green room, I'm not seeing anything unseen. Perhaps whatever echo or apparition has already faded and is no longer here. I can look for more mundane things, as you suggest, such as blood or trash.
I think the mummy itself is quite real. An apparition, I don't think, did all of this.
Oh, he believes in a mummy, but not a ghost. Okay.
Perhaps it's the spirit of a mummy, or I don't know what powers mummies have. Who's to say they can't astral project or something of the sort?
I know for a fact they cannot. They can summon sandstorms, do things with bugs.
Curses.
They hate
bring about
scorpion kings. That's it. That's what I know.
I'll do an investigation for more mundane stuff.
Okay.
Well, let's follow Eveline because I don't trust her alone in this theater, and then we'll see what happens.
Hello, I dragged Nara along with me.
Inspector Gray,
We
intelligence
should go protect Nara.
investigation. You find nothing of any use, but you realise as you search around, you need Brendan Fraser.
Finally getting the crossover I've been waiting for.
Well, he doesn't need the work now.
Say, maybe we could get him on as a guest.
I'm kind of looking forward to the badly CGI'd Dwayne Johnson, but
Oh yeah.
Brendan Fraser's great too.
I mean, sorry, no, I couldn't secure the rights of Brendan Fraser, but next week we've got a representative from the Church of Scientology coming on.
No.
Brendan Fraser, Scientologist? Nice guy.
No.
But Tom Cruise is.
Oh, I forgot that movie.
Yeah.
was-
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you almost broke my heart. I thought Brendan Fraser for a second.
Oh God, no.
Enough with that horror. Go
So
into the
the
green
other
room.
The green room is perfectly in order. It seems like the mummy never reached that far into the theatre.
At least some things are still sacred.
Interesting. I don't see anything with sense of the unseen at all in this area.
Aldric is going to open his chest cavity with instructions for his. He's like the mummy.
Stop
He's got
doing
bug
that.
powers. He's gonna send the insects out to.
Whisper to Evelyn, what's he doing?
Be lucky you can't see. It's gross.
I just want him to spread throughout the theater and report
Nothing.
back if there's anything suspicious or if that thing's still lingering somewhere in the building.
You wouldn't
Are
believe
these
it.
like they're actual bugs? Like there's nothing. I wouldn't be able to see them with my special.
Nope,
Sure, you would suddenly hear a swarm of flying bugs in the air.
Oh, lovely.
And they find nothing.
I do not think it is still in the building, which is good. But I'm not sure how to track it either. Clara, are you able to... I'm not sure what exactly you can do. I know you have a special sight, right? If we are to find the remains of one of the victims, would you be able to do anything with that?
The most I'd be able to do is just any items that may be on there, personal belongings, is sense their energy. And any echoes that may be attached to it that we can possibly follow.
We'll see what's left of it. Was there anything left as the exploding cleaning lady? Yeah.
Just a stain on the wall. She used to be
not
called
much
Dot.
usable here.
Now she's called Splat.
I'm gonna look towards Aldric. Is there anything I can sense on him?
Kindness.
Okay, the truth. Truth.
I don't think there would be.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look like anything has attached to you other than our friend, but, so I guess maybe you aren't cursed.
I bloody better not be.
Oh, do me.
Oh, okay.
Pardon?
And then I will very intimate eye contact with Evelyn.
Sorry, I was thinking how that looks. No. Nothing.
No curses or anything else on you either.
It must be the crystal.
Of course. I'm so glad you kept it. Now, Aldric, is there any...
Go ahead.
Is there anyone you pissed off recently?
No, not at all.
Uh-huh.
Well, that wasn't reassuring.
You exaggerate.
Aldric?
Problem is narrowing down who he...
Well, I have many
Hasn't.
enemies. I've not made any enemies of mummies, though.
Oh. But you
They
are
could
wanted.
Right. I mean, if the church, various other gangs in the city, I'm sure, probably the authorities, Aldo, probably my greatest enemy.
Would any
Yeah.
of them have
Good
abilities to
Aldric.
summon such a thing?
Aldric, I forgot about good Aldric.
Well, Aldric, what about from a few weeks ago that Sedite that we had a conversation with, the one that peddles artifacts from the Middle East and
Artifacts,
Northern
you
Africa.
say?
Could be connected to the satellites. I hope not. That would explain Patricia's confidence, though. She's got something like this at her disposal.
Oh, no, I wasn't speaking of Patricia. I was speaking of
The one from the shop.
Yes.
I mean, they're all connected. He led us to this, and
True.
perhaps. Let's go out. I guess we could see if anyone else saw anything out on the streets, and if not, we can saw it perhaps at that shop. Because if they are not involved, they would at least certainly know something of mummies, I would assume.
You head out onto the street, through the wreckage, and through the torn-up entryway, and through the wall of heavy-handed guarding the entrance into Aldric's waiting carriage. Or did you want to go elsewhere, sorry?
We stopped for a bite.
We could, Thurston, do you want to see if any of your crawling friends maybe saw which way the thing went? Alright, I guess, so the guards were already here when the attack happened, so I guess no one saw anything leave, so it doesn't seem like there's like a physical entity that left. Would I be able to put that together, or?
Yeah. By the way, if you're getting in the carriage, you find the well-dressed visage of the familiar man who you met in the theatre and has given you guidance in the past. His top hat sits upon his lap as he looks at you all as you enter into the carriage. Ah! Good evening, Kindred. A pleasure to see you all again, and to see your own seer has finally joined you. Wonderful! Things are falling into place, slowly but surely. So I see some of your properties have been attacked. And at this point, you aren't exactly sure which way to proceed with your investigation. I have a suggestion for you if you wish to hear it.
How do you know about all this?
It's what I do.
I would love to hear your suggestion. I'm gonna lean over to Nara. Perhaps check if this one's cursed. And sort of sit up again. Please do proceed.
And I will look with my special eye.
My bride.
Nara spies with her special eye. Nothing, I'm afraid.
I will whisper back, nay, nothing there.
And everyone in the coterie watches as she nay-nays. At some point, you will need to talk with Cyril Masters. It is up to you if you wish to tell him about Danvers, who poses as a Ventru, or if you wish to ask him about Roger Pierce, and see where that will lead, or perhaps both. I have arranged a meeting with Mr. Masters. He expects you, but I suggest you discuss what you may want to talk to him about exactly before proceeding just off to Soho Square to meet with him.
And
Names.
what do I owe you for this kind guidance?
Oh, this isn't kind guidance. I am Merely making sure the pieces on the board are in the positions they need to be.
And who exactly are you?
That's a good question.
He introduced himself to us as
Jekyll?
Mr. Jekyll.
My name is Mr. Hythe.
So, he introduced you originally as Jackal, but now he claims to be Hyde?
Right, that's not what you told us before.
You've never asked my name before.
We certainly met before, and I
Indeed we have.
requested your name. We had a whole deal. I bought this place from you.
Not I, sir.
All right. Oh, thank you for your help, Mr. Hyde. Was it?
Hythe.
Hyde.
Perhaps you have a twin?
That was
What
my
makes you say such
inclination.
preposterous things?
Oh,
Well,
wow.
there's
Go
that. Well, we see you in multiple places at times, and you remember only certain things, so there must obviously be two of you.
Interesting deduction and conclusion. It is correct, but you shouldn't assume such things.
Well, I only tried to inform you of my logic when someone else did so. I've had this conclusion for a while.
Congratulations, Nosferatu. You finally did something
Thank you.
Nosferatu.
Okay, who told him that?
Is there anything else?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. So we're meeting with Mr. Masters, and we can either tell him about Roger Pierce, or who's the other one?
Danvers, who pretends to be a Ventrue.
Right, and what does Mr. Masters want with this information? He will tell us about the mummy attack?
Mr. Masters seems to be a key component in this whole thing. How he is related, I am unsure. His piece is on the board and where it needs to be. Yours or not. You need to be in the right place.
Alright, if you could do me a favor, next time you see one of these pieces about to destroy my property, perhaps you can move that piece.
No, I can't do such a thing.
It's
I'm
your time
destroying-
with all this. And are you sure you yourself has nothing to do with this at all?
Yes, I'm positive. I'd know. That would be something I'd notice. Good eyes. No offense.
None taken.
Alright, we shall play your game. Thank you for...
Oh, it is not my game.
Then whose game is it?
That's a very good question. He'll look at Thurston. Don't pry into others' business.
Fucking hate milk. Finally got rid of ours, now I have to do
I was just about to say, you might be able to... Never mind.
Those things it's a roll to resist, right?
Composure, intelligence.
He has to beat 6.
Oh, I only have 5 die.
Did that crit
Crit.
or blood surge?
Don't
maybe
you
not.
afford the
You're at
blood surge.
400.
Yeah.
Take 3 willpower damage.
Okay.
And he'll
Wasn't.
put his top hat on, tip it to the rest of you, and then exit your carriage.
What an unusual man.
I
Have you
hate
done so-
Malkavians. Maybe even more than spirits. Yes, we have dealt with him, but he went by a different name. His appearance was precisely the same. He speaks in very odd mannerisms and whatnot. Are you familiar with Malkavians, Miss Boswell?
Don't think that was the same gentleman.
Hey, did he look the same to us?
Exactly the same.
He did say he
Wasn't
had a
Mr. Yeah, wasn't Mr. Jackal Ravnos?
Oh, right. Wait, was he? I think he was. I do remember. That's where I heard the name of that clan before, and that's why took me a little bit to warm up to you.
Would I be familiar with this name at all?
No.
Never heard-
Perhaps one of them, either this Mr. Jack or this Mr. Hythe, is taking on the appearance of the other.
There seems to be a lot of that going around. As
Oh,
I look at Aldric.
He could create... I remember, he was able to make things appear that weren't there, right? That happened to us last time.
Ah,
Yeah.
like illusions.
I think that was Mr. Jackal.
Right, yeah. Is ringing a bell for you? Do you know him?
Mm-mm. But I'm familiar with that type of work. Illusions, of course. But no, name's still not ringing a bell.
I don't believe in illusions. If you're gonna make something appear like something else, you should do it the old-fashioned way. Alright.
Perhaps I misjudged you.
He was talking to you, Gray. So,
Hi.
on next...
I'm sorry, Aldric. I feel like you were the one in conversation when Endymion decided to share his opinion with us.
No, I have been with him the longest. I understand how to read his intentions. It's alright. No need to worry.
I see. You are the expert in Endymion. I understand.
So are you closer to him than everyone else here? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Aldric and Endymion are very close.
Hmm.
I've brought him the most tribute. I've brought in other men in his service. I made deals on behalf of the rest of the coterie. We're quite close.
Can I sense anything else?
And we
Can I sense
have
anything
this sort of witty banter about us as well.
other than the voice?
Do not defy.
Oh. Voice is enough.
2 superficial willpower damage, Aldric.
Does he have a form at all, this demon? Is it just a voice? There's nothing else more to him.
It's just a and a painting.
Oh?
Our home is sort of an extension of him as well.
And the house.
And the house. He just...
We don't know that though, do we?
We think
think
he's
you
the
do.
house, or Aldrich
Yeah.
thinks he's like the house. I think
Okay,
most of us
okay.
incorrectly think that.
Mm-hmm.
A monster house. Is that it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's got good taste.
Have you explored all of that house yet?
What
Kind of
he is
an impossible
allowed.
task.
Right, the house can change form, right? We spoke of change earlier. You'll learn more about that.
I wonder
My
if he'll give you a
curiosity.
room.
What was that?
I wonder if he'll give you a room.
Oh, a room just for me.
Yes.
Right.
It'll be lovely.
You can go around and feel each of our rooms.
Don't
and
feel
decide
all
what you want for yourself. Why not?
You have something damning in there.
I think it's quite nice.
It's gross.
We're getting distracted though. The matter at hand, right? This Mr. Masters. That's what I was looking at my notes for. Do we know who that is?
Isn't he
Cyril
the
Masters?
one
Cyril
that
Masters.
was he the one that went through the Setite thing with Inspector Gray? He's also like
No,
the
that's his
child of a child of Valerian.
He's a retired constable.
Roger
Oh,
Pierce
he's
is his
Valerius's child?
Valerius's grandchild.
I think it's grandchild.
I thought Pierce is the grandchild and Cyril's is or Masters is the child.
Let me double check.
I thought it was the other way around. But Inspector Gray met him? The Setite thing?
Spectre met Roger Pierce.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Roger Pierce is the one
Okay.
that's trying to get
Then
in
Roger
with
Pierce is
Inspector.
the grandchild
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Cyril is the child. Okay. I had it mixed up.
And then Danvers also visits the opium den on Wednesdays, according to my notes. Or the Setite place. So both are connected with the Setites. Hey, what did Hythe say? That we're just supposed to reveal one of these two to him, or I forgot the actual instructions. That was
You can choose to tell him about Danvers, who pretends to be a Ventru, or you can ask him about Roger. Is it Roger? Yeah, Roger Pierce, or is it Richard Pierce?
I have Roger.
Randolph.
Oh, no. Never mind. Oh, I got it.
Rufio.
Riker.
Rufio. Sorry.
Sick. Well, I'm not sure which route we want to go. I'm not sure it's all placed to reveal Danvers to him. Because I'm not sure what we would gain by that yet. Now, I am curious about this Roger Pierce, and he would know about him, obviously, as his sire. But also, someone pretending to be a Ventru could be interesting. What else do I know about Danvers?
Wasn't he a Fetite disguised as a Ventru that we were tasked to take out?
Oh, he's a Setite.
Danvers is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I got all that information from either Dirk or Clara, I don't remember.
You remember that, but you don't remember Roger DeCamden's first name being Roger.
Selective memory.
Well, exposing a Setite could hurt us as we're currently infiltrating them. But also, getting rid of one of them is ultimately our goal, so it could help with that. And I believe Danvers has an opium den I've written down.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I
'Cause he
love
was
getting
in-
rid of competitors.
He does remind me a lot of someone.
Well,
Who?
if we...
Do you also run an opium den?
I say
Sure.
I am in the business of medicine. Oh, if you're interested, I have all
Well,
sorts
we're
of...
gonna stop to get a bite to eat, right?
Ah, that's
yeah.
right. Yes.
Yeah, I'll show you first hands. Whatever it is that ails you, I've got a cure.
But, Aldric, if we don't have to necessarily reveal to the Setites that we're the ones that got rid of Mr. Danvers, we could do it for the Camarilla's sake, as that's what we've been tasked with. And I don't think the Camarilla is quite on speaking terms with the Setites, so I don't know if that news would spread around as easily as you might think.
I believe they might be friends. I recall that they actually, when they visit the Setite place, they have talks, they meet with one another.
But we've been tasked by the Camarilla to extinguish the Setites.
Alright, let's expose him. See what Cyril Masters does. By exposing him, honestly, that puts him a bit in our debt, rather than going to him asking for information.
That's also quite a big task to eliminate the Setite.
Not all of them. The Camarilla has become aware of a certain group of them in the city, and we are part of the Camarilla, and they often task us with dirty work.
I see. Says
This
the
is yet
blind.
another extension of that. Unfortunately, running with our coterie also means
Dirty
taking
work.
missions as they come. Right. We try to usually squeeze out some sort of benefit for us as well.
So you like getting your hands dirty, is what you're saying?
I myself, on occasion.
So
I like that.
we might think about stopping by Elysium and talking to Dirk to see if he knows of any other mummy attacks. Because that seems very Setite related.
Perhaps. I am inclined to follow Mr. Hyde's instructions, though. So far, anyone who makes little sense that tells us to do things seems to actually work out in our best interest to play along. I hated being seen as a piece of a game, as he put it, but
You listen to this man often.
no. But every time he shows up, yes. There's many like him. Mysterious individuals that float into our lives, have something to say, but let's just say we're a curious lot like you.
Oh,
Even if
yes.
we always end up seeing what's going on. And so far it's worked out for us. So far.
I'm learning more and more just how curious you all are. Okay, well, if you trust his word, lead the way.
I don't trust it at all, but I trust our ability to navigate whatever trouble we run into.
That is
So,
fair.
let's get a bite to eat. Thurston, you're looking especially hungry.
Definitely.
Carriage arrives outside Aldric's decadent opium den. On the desk is one of the many heavy-handed, filling in for an Ezka. Boss! Boss! Alright, boss.
Are our usual orders written down?
I don't know, boss, I can't read.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like a cup of coffee.
Have you tried going to
I'm
a
gonna
coffee
make
shop?
this very simple for you.
Oh, no.
Oh, you want some drugs? Why didn't you just say you wanted drugs? What's the
The
need for all this?
heavy-handed.
Did you see
You're the
that?
one they
Yeah.
put at the front desk.
You need to
I
get some
know
more
we've got
intelligent
people
help.
better than you. at
I'm
this.
the most personable.
Lord help
That
us.
might be true, sadly. Alright.
You hire some interesting people. First the girl that has a lot of outbursts, now the man who can't seem to understand his tasks.
I tend to collect things that are discarded by others, and I improve them. Sometimes, I look at this man, more slowly than others.
Ah, another collector. Interesting.
He stood behind the desk, picking his nose as you say this.
All right, I'll take the lead on this one. And I'm just going to personally show them to the VIP lounge, and I will go collect the individuals we need. Administer whatever they need in their system. Right, Eveline, you would like to bit of energy for you?
Yes,
I might need my wits about me for this, so I'm going to do something to help with my mental capacities. Inspector Thurston?
Just take the normal.
Alright. Inspector, you would like yours with a side of fries, it seems?
Believe it or not, I'm not hungry at the moment. I'm quite sated.
Oh, alright. Nero. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the business. I run a group that we call ourselves the Medicine Men. But of course, some people consider our medicine illegal. But any medicine you need,
Poppycock.
illegal or otherwise, is available here for you.
See. So I'll take whatever's the most attractive and slightly anxious.
His name's Thurston.
It's true.
No,
If
No,
you
no.
like damp.
no. No.
Remembering what stuff does to people who are not drug addicts like myself. You know what? He probably wouldn't really know, actually. He's just going to go with something. Would you like to focus more, or do you need a bout of energy about you?
Focus.
Very well. Then yeah, I will get another person on opium for Nara.
Delicious. Nom nom nom.
I think you'll want more someone on cocaine and opium for focus. Opium.
Are we
That's
debating
true.
drugs now?
I don't. I know
I've
nothing.
been
Gotta
told
happen at least once in
opium
this
makes
life.
you sleepy.
Yeah, Aldric uses opium to focus because he's a naturally angry person. So he takes opium to sort of mellow out and be able to be better in those situations. Although she's already pretty calm. But cocaine also... Actually, cocaine... I think cocaine's a newer, fancier drug in this time. He's going to show off because he's got really good cocaine thanks to the Setite. So he's actually going to get that. Eveline
Okay.
loves it.
Meanwhile, when Aldrich brought her victim into the room, instead of having him come over to the couch, she got up, greeted the victim, and started dancing with him. And
Oh.
singing to go along.
Somehow
Dinner and a show.
Jesus, somehow that's worse. Who would like to go first?
I'll go ahead since I am singing and dancing with my victim.
Okay, do your feeding roll, please. I'm going to skip the colourful descriptions this week. How much
Yeah,
hunger
now.
would you like to...
I can't go down to 0, right?
Not without killing.
Without killing him. Okay, then 1. Then 2. 2.
And you may add +1 modifier to any pool of your choice for the remainder of the night.
Thank you.
Next.
Aldrich will go next because he wants to then monitor Thurston's feeding.
Makes sense. Feeding roll for me, please.
Yeah.
Wonderful. How much hunger would you like to slake?
2, please.
Go right ahead. Next.
I'll do my usual.
Feeding roll for me, please.
I'm gonna be there in case he kills the poor guy.
Absolutely fine.
What?
How much can I take without killing him again?
3.
Oh, okay, that's perfect.
But I'm going to give you a humanity stain. hospitalizing someone, which I realized I should have been doing if you slake 3 anyway.
Oh, okay. I was like, but I said I don't want to. I gotcha.
Yeah, but you're causing harm.
Right.
Next. Clara.
I was planning to go last, but I could go next.
I think
I
you
think
are
you are
last.
last.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone else went? Oh, okay. Yes, fine. Okay, so how do I do this?
Okay. I'm not sure if you've set it up or not on your sheet, because it's one of those things that's hidden and took us about 7 months until we went, oh, those are tabs. And found under Blood and XP along the top, there's a little thing for Predator.
Oh, so just click on that.
Yes,
on
if
the roll
it's.
there.
I'm not sure if I've set up the role for you or if you set up the role, but hopefully there's a role in there ready to go.
It should have 2 things next to it.
Yeah, it's just.
It does. Okay. No modifier, just straight. Okay.
Yep.
Unless you're doing something to modify it. Oh, really?
You can re-roll 3 of those dice, or I can offer
Okay,
you.
and the
Okay.
Willpower
reroll.
reroll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's under the willpower bar.
Oh my goodness.
Would you like success at cost?
Yes.
Nara. Feeling a little nervous, feeding around people for perhaps the first time ever, sinks her
True.
fangs into her prey's skin, piercing the flesh, and extracts the body temperature liquid inside, feeling it trickle down her throat and energize her system. She focuses too much on the feeling of the new blood within her, loses track, and drains her prey. You may slake 5 hunger to 0, but you take 2 humanity stains. You mark humanity going right to left. So you want just 2 strokes furthest right of humanity.
In white boxes.
Okay. So explain that one more time. Sorry.
It's always hard.
Your humanity tracks from right to left. So
right
you want
to
mark
left.
2 slashes on the furthest right bars for humanity.
Got it. Got it.
You'll be
Okay,
going
and
through
then-
white boxes and not red boxes.
Correct.
I see. Okay. I think I did that right. And now, where did the hunger section go? My goodness.
That
Right
should
next to
be
humanity.
Very
Like
bottom.
it's 7
Oh,
o'clock.
thank you. Perfect.
And if you
Okay.
just click the X, wonderful.
Yeah.
And you all... Oh yes, you had tainted blood actually, didn't you? With cocaine. Which means that you will spend 2 willpower points to re-roll a messy critical or bestial failure. Difficulties to resist or control frenzy increase by 1.
Okay, you're just gonna have to remind me that as we go on.
The note next to your
What
name,
is
cocaine?
what is Nera's feeding style? Out of curiosity, like what would we have seen?
Messy,
before she just
apparently.
killed one of
I got nervous. Okay, I don't.
Want to know how Aldric's gonna react to
Yeah,
this?
what's her predator type?
It was her first time feeding.
Osiris.
Oh, okay.
Heading back to the carriage and straight to Cyril Masters.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm cleaning myself up and I'm apologizing profusely. This normally doesn't happen, really.
They all say that.
Right. It would be disingenuous to say that you are the first to expire one of my products.
Would
And
you like
No. I have let it slide to an extent with everyone else, and I shall extend you the same courtesy.
Oh, perhaps you are kind after all.
It wouldn't
Bless your
be.
heart.
No.
It
Super
wouldn't be
embarrassed,
right
flustered, like.
It wouldn't be very like our group if a new member didn't accidentally kill the prey on the first go.
At least we weren't
Thurston, of
Elysium.
course you would say that.
Yeah. I was the first. We've all done it.
Good to know I'm not the only one.
The Coterie.
So yes, onward. Fixing myself up. Onward.
The Coterie leave the
I'll
opium
use
den.
my handkerchief to kind of clean up any spots she misses.
Oh, thank you. You're a darling.
She can't see.
Very
I
true.
look that up in my mirror.
Very true.
Not making eye contact with either of you. Coterie leave the opium den. Head into Aldric's carriage. As it travels its way across the city, Aldric listening to the sounds of the clopping hooves and wheels spinning around on the cobbled streets, sounding almost like Aldo Loves You, until they finally arrive just on the edge of Soho Square, as they were instructed. The Coterie leave the carriage and proceed up the stone steps leading to Cyril Masters' office, a modest but still fairly well-to-do property given its location. The Coterie knock on the door, and it is answered only a few seconds later by an elderly, well-dressed varlet, who bows at the hips to the Coterie and invites them inside. He closes the door behind them and tells them to proceed forward and enter into the open door, where the Coterie find a lavish office filled with bookshelves, each one completely loaded with various tomes of knowledge from every part of the Empire. Sat behind a rosewood desk is an elderly man. His unkempt beard, wispy hair, and wrinkled visage speak to his years of wisdom and experience. He stands to greet the Coterie, leaning heavily on a silver-tipped cane. His silver ring and lapel pin bear some kind of symbol that none of them recognise that glitters under the candlelight. You are asked all to sit, as he places himself down carefully in his own seat. Good evening. I understand you have information for me.
Out of curiosity, where did you hear this?
Mr. Hythe, I believe his name is.
Yes, Thurston, I'm Master of Information. Would you like to share?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What is the name of the DeCamden fellow?
Oh, okay. Hey, Mr. Roger DeCamden. Mr. Richard.
Would you mind telling Mr. Masters here about what we know about Mr. Danvers? I think he would be most curious to know what his acquaintance has been up to.
Well, sorry, I'm just trying to remember what I should tell this guy and what I shouldn't tell this guy. Unless we're just full sharing.
I think we go for it.
Okay. Mr. Danvers has been hiding amongst the other Camarilla here as a Ventru, but we have come to find out that that is untrue. Mr. Danvers is in fact of Clan Setite.
Usurped in the ranks. What proof do you have of
Precisely.
this? Have you shit?
No, sorry, I'm just like, well, I can't just go, oh, Nosferatu told me.
I mean, you kind of can.
Yeah, I am. I'm just thinking of how to word it. I was informed this by a very high-ranking Nosferatu.
See? Why have Nosferatu not brought this to anyone else's attention?
Because we were tasked with taking out certain Setites, and we merely asked for the information for it to be provided to us. In help
Why, of course you could see the value, what could come to one who did act on this information. The Nosferatu taking it for themselves, we saw it fitting that you have the honor of receiving the credit for whatever befalls them.
Interesting. Delivering justice is never an honor, it is an obligation. Setites are in breach of our own traditions and laws. And as I understand it, you are in need of information yourselves.
I wouldn't say in need, but it's only polite, considering what we offered you.
I can tell you about Richard DeCamden. His real name is Roger.
Fascinating.
Thurston, write this down.
Pull out a pen and paper.
He hangs around at Brooks Club when not in the company of Mithras. Brooks is far from the most vocal of clubs. Its emphasis on history and continuity. It was founded in 1764 and encourages membership by successive members of the same family. This has made membership an attractive proposition for many kindred and esteemed ghouls, as they can pass themselves off as their own descendants. It is within the city of London itself, in between Blackfriars Bridge and Southwark Bridge, just south of St. Paul's Cathedral. It's very interesting that you come tonight of all nights, and with a former member of the Peelers, no less, that isn't paying attention. I have something of a dilemma that I need dealt with. There is a small pocket of kindred that are acting independently of the Camarilla, and have been causing trouble in various parts of the city. Perhaps they are even responsible for the attacks on your property. I need to bring the swift hand of justice down upon them. Unfortunately, the Kyne police are not up to the task of taking these offenders on. However, you will be. And I'm sure you want to bring justice to these barbarians. There are only a few of them, roughly 10 in total. They have made an old abandoned office just on the docks their base of operations. They have not been presented to the prince. They were embraced without permission. The traditions do not apply to them. I would have you eradicate them.
Certainly seems like they've violated many of our tenets. This shouldn't be an issue.
I'm sure you're already aware that we're on an official mission from the Camarilla, multiple ones actually. Taking on another one, just for the sake of it, while honorable, of course, might just be too much for us at this time.
And as you said yourself, given the weight of the information I have given you, you can understand how valuable this is.
I consider all information about Danvers equates what you told us about Mr. DeCamden.
Then you seriously
seems-
underestimate the value of Mr. Danvers. I have told you about the prince's favorite person in court. I risk the wrath of someone once removed from the antediluvians.
Sounds like that's even more incentive for you to sweeten the pot for us.
Very well. You are members of the Camarilla, are you not?
Of course.
Then I, as your elder, request this of you.
Right, we will get to it after our many other quests then. If there's nothing to incentivize pushing this up. Can I roll against him? Mostly I want to play on the subtle threat of what he said about, yes, he's exposing someone very close to Mithras. And that could be bad for him if the wrong people knew he was spilling that information.
Composure, intimidation?
Ooh, your intimidation. Let's do it. I'm gonna blood surge.
Okay.
Will this be considered coercion? My specialty.
Yeah.
All the help I could get. Four. Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll 3 of those because I could potentially get a crit. Oh, and now definitely gotta do it. That does make it a crit.
Does. So that's
6.
7.
7, yeah. Wait.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
crit's double, isn't it? So you get 1 success. Oh yeah, 7. So I better re-roll then.
Damn it.
I don't believe you're in a position to be telling an elder of the Camarilla what to do.
Oh, I would never
We can
presume to.
We can discuss compensation more to your liking after it has been done.
Very well. We'll proceed to do the honorable thing, as always.
Excellent. Anything else, or heading off to the docks? The former home of Michelle's hut
No.
over at the docks. The carriage rides across the city as the Coterie is sat in the car, thundering through, and the cobbled roads rumble underneath its wheels. Is there anything you wish to discuss on the ride? Jesus, what the hell conversation am I
Aldric.
missing into?
I don't think it was so much of an issue for us to take care of this problem. I mean, we're running a little cold on some of our leads. This could keep us busy.
Oh, no, Inspector, you misunderstand. I'm perfectly willing to do it, but never do for free what you can earn
Oh,
something
I
to
see.
do it.
I suppose it is better to profit from something we're already going to do than just do it for the sake of doing it. I understand.
Exactly. And while there's a certain risk in pushing negotiations with people of his station, some of them respect that sort of thing as well.
I think you did
very
well
much.
in how once.
Oh. Well, thank you, Miss Boswell. It's not successful, of course, but us getting out alive, after me presuming perhaps outside of my station, is a bit of a success in itself.
Absolutely.
Or
I'm
another
of the
Thursday
mind
night.
Right. I'm of the mind of taking high risks for high rewards.
I like that as well.
This bit of a problem with these unsolicited kindred, though. I assume things will come to blows. How will you fare in such a situation, Miss Boswell?
Well, it definitely is unfortunate and has to be dealt with. What other tasks did you say that you had? Do you have a prioritization to them, if you will? What's more important than the others?
Some are more personally important to us, but I think in this case we should perhaps stop by the docks and take care of what Mr. Masters demanded.
I believe so as well.
Yeah, our other business involves the Setites, and that's more ongoing. Nothing we can do tonight. Then, of course, now we have this more information on Mr. DeCamden. Should also be a priority, but perhaps can wait.
All right. Then we know our next steps.
And if things get violent, will you be all right?
It's so strange. I usually have my helpers with me in regards to this, but unfortunately I've kept them a bit out of the loop given our friend situation. I'd prefer to keep them protected. But I can do pretty well handling myself as well.
Very well. I just didn't want to presume anything. I know not all people of high standing like to get their hands dirty, but you've mentioned you do, so.
Yeah.
Although I wonder if this is an opportunity as well. If these are discouraged kindred with nowhere to go, I wonder if it's an opportunity to offer them somewhere a little more protected to hide, rather than simply eliminate them.
Oh, Aldric, I see your collector side is coming out. It's what you do best, yeah.
I consider it my kindness side. I see there was a need, and I want to find a way to help them, protect them.
Perhaps get their side of the story?
Perhaps. We go in and if they have words to say, we listen, and if they do not, we do what must be done.
I agree. I do love a good story, after all.
Although 10 of them is a concerning number, if all are full-blooded kindred.
It's a good way to get ganged up on, yes.
Right. Yeah, I see you, Shiv. Well, we'll just have to make sure we're strategic about this. Perhaps we can make sure they greatly underestimate us if some of us want to go in unseen. Then we could give them the illusion that there are more of us than there are. They think they're surrounded. Is that making sense to you, Inspector Thurston?
Of course.
Time is
Yes,
right, we can
quite.
call on some of you to reveal yourselves. Maybe not all at once. And that way they think, oh, I wonder how many other unseen people are here. Not knowing there's just 2. Perhaps we lie and say there's a dozen.
I can certainly proceed unseen.
Good. And if they start by thinking that they are not in danger, they might be more willing to talk as well. All right. We have a strategy then.
Are we going straight and announcing ourselves? Are we...
I think myself, Eveline, and you, Nara, should just announce ourselves. Eveline is quite good with people. I think she should maybe take the lead in speaking to them.
To the manager?
Yes. And then we take it from there.
Are you comfortable with that, Eveline?
Oh, yes. We do this all the time.
Oh, okay.
Very well.
Someone clip Eveline saying, yes, we do that all the time, because that might be useful after they find out what the fuck they're fighting.
We're talking, no fighting.
That's what you do.
Uh-huh.
We'll approach first. You flatter, caress, gentle.
You're trying to play the storyteller right now.
I would never.
Keep going. Tell me about my eyes.
No. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm a little impaired at the moment.
Oh, that's good. You won't see what's coming then.
Oh.
The carriage arrives on the edge of the docks, as far as it can go in without drawing too much attention to themselves. The Coterie leave the carriage and proceed on foot towards the office building they were told about, as they march through the older parts of the dock that have all been abandoned. The flow of the Thames thrashes against the old dock walls and fills the air with smell of fresh water. The Coterie weave their way through the menagerie of abandoned buildings and debris left from previous organisations. As the Coterie approach their target, the rundown block has shattered windows, and the doors have been left to rot off their hinges, and an obvious cold draught emanates from the darkened building. Aldric focuses hard on the building, trying to hear anything coming from it, and is able to hear the faint pained moans of a woman, begging for help, coming from the left side of the building. To the right, you can hear the unmistakable sounds of weapons being sharpened. Would you like to plan anything before I proceed?
Yeah, I'll relay what I heard to the rest of them.
Well, that's a lot.
We're talking. We need to save her.
Right, negotiations might be off the table. If someone's in trouble, Thurston and Spectre, perhaps you can unseen rescue them in case they're taken hostage.
Very well. If we sneak in there, Inspector, I suggest you be the one that uncloaks to rescue them. I don't think they need to see this face after what they've gone through.
Oh, that won't be an issue, Thurston. Of course, I'll be happy to reveal myself first.
Since it sounds like a woman is in trouble, perhaps just the two women go in. I think they will severely underestimate you. I will join immediately after.
We can hold her.
I know you can.
Gonna loop my arm around Eveline's.
Aldric's gonna go around the side of the building and go horrid for him.
Ooh, negotiations really are off the table.
That would be a masquerade breach.
Are there people all
We're
around?
outside.
You are on the docks, yeah. They are awash with seamen.
Can I get to the roof? Would it be possible to do it up there?
No. Unless you've got an extreme soaring leap or Spider-Man ritual.
I've got both of them. Well, not the extreme soaring elite, but...
Will the The soaring leap, that just have to be a really good roll.
No,
Jump
soaring leap
that
is
high.
automatic.
No, yes, a jump, not a roll.
Oh,
I mean, I can change myself to make it like that. But, do I want to use the blood?
Oh, I should also for JJ. Or you could do something really stupid and all go in at once.
I mean, you might just wait to change until after you've gotten in the door.
Takes a
I
whole
prefer it if you
round.
all went in at
Round I
once.
could be killing. Yeah, I'll go in with them, with the sneaky boys coming in with us.
Crikey.
I'll
Yeah,
whisper.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, I'll whisper to Eveline and be like, people are always underestimating women. It'll be their funeral.
It comes in handy.
Absolutely.
I guess I will cast Unseen Passage then.
Rouse check for me, please. Gain that hunger.
Thank you for brunch earlier.
The Coterie cautiously proceed into the damp corridor, finding walls with huge exposed holes showing the building. I can't keep that up. I really can't. The Coterie cautiously proceed into the damp corridor, finding walls with huge exposed holes showing the building's innards, and begin to walk deeper into the building, when suddenly a huge part of the ceiling falls in between the Coterie, splitting the gathering in twain, with Nara, Thurston and Inspector Grey on one side, and Eveline with Aldric on the other.
I'll reach for Nara as she's ripped out of my arms.
Reaching back.
You'll instinctively move out of the way because huge bits of ceiling dropping in, completely blocking it off.
Jesus.
I don't know what's going on, but proceed inward. I'm sure our paths will cross soon. I'll shout. I don't know if they can hear me.
Yeah, I think they'd be able. The building is empty enough, echoey enough to carry through.
I mean,
Okay.
I could
This-
start removing rubble, but I assume it's enough to where that's going to be like a laborious thing, even beefed up. So, yeah. I'll yell just to proceed in and try to find a place to link up.
And not only would it take time, but it would also leave you open to a sneak attack.
Yeah.
They would never.
Is Aldric in horde form now?
If we're inside and this has happened, and we're clearly wandering into something bad,
You might want me to
yes.
say the paragraph I've got next before you decide.
Okay,
No.
let's hear it.
Eveline and Aldric can only proceed onwards up a set of rusted metal stairs that leads onto the building's second floor. With no choice left to them, they head up the stairs and towards the sounds of scraping metal of weapons being sharpened. They head up the stairs as cautiously and quietly as they can, barely letting any sound escape, just the small metal clangs as their feet hit each metal step, until they reach the top of a small open area with a door ahead of them. The sounds of weapons being sharpened heard even by Eveline now, as Aldric peeks around the corner and sees 3 bestial-like creatures gathered among broken desks and glass splinters. As he peeks over one, the gathered monsters start to sniff the air, no doubt picking up on Eveline's perfume. One of them looks straight at the pair peeking around the corner as he lifts his hand. I've got some dice roll bits. So. Eveline, dexterity, wits.
I'll reroll 2 of those. Damn.
Eveline falls backwards into her own shadow as the monstrous Kindred turns and watches Eveline tumble out of his own shadow next to him. Eveline, Fury Frenzy, difficulty 4, please.
It's cool new Sabat powers.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
You're in Fury Frenzy.
Frenzy.
This hasn't happened
It's
to me
Fury
yet.
Frenzy, though, so how does that work?
Fury Frenzy. Off the top of my head, without reading the description, basically you've got to attack the nearest thing of that has earned your ire. You can only use physical disciplines such as celerity, fortitude, and potence. But you do resist mental disciplines with 3 extra dice. You can spend a willpower point to assume control of your character for a single turn, though. While in Frenzy, you may not use willpower to re-roll.
Ooh.
I will take my scissors and stab at the one that's right next to me.
Well, we're going to come back to you.
Okay.
Meanwhile, on the lower floor, the trio of Inspector Grey, Nara, and Thurston must choose between proceeding into the lowest floor work area, or go to the end of the corridor and proceed upstairs. Which way would you like to go?
With Unseen Passage up, would it drop if I were to, what's the word? Help Nara along. Because we've got 2 invisible people and a blind person. This should be great.
Oh no. I was just gonna say, like, I'm gonna grab the next person, but they're both. Yeah.
I think it would break it. But Inspector Grey Inspector Grey has been married and is probably, without offence to you, Thurston, raised more of a gentleman, would have dropped his and offered Nara his arm.
Yeah, Inspector Grey, once he realizes that that Nora has no guide, he would extend out his arm for her to grab one and be like, Nora, Lady Nora, please, I will accompany you.
Blessed. I'm gonna grab on.
Which way are you going? Stick downstairs or go upstairs?
Yeah. I would speak quietly. Thurston, Nora, which way do you think we should go? Were we trying to save somebody?
Do we still hear anything? Like the cries for help?
Yes.
Actually, to say that even better, can I use
Heightened
what's
senses.
the power called? Heightened senses to see which direction would get us to the cries for help.
Kind of, but that's not how it works. You would just be able to hear better.
Right,
It's
but
not
you'd
Superman
be able
X-ray
to-
vision.
No, I know. I'm just saying it doesn't sound like it's coming somewhat above us, or well,
Sounds like it's
doesn't
upstairs.
matter. Yeah, that's what I was going for. I imagine we should follow the clues.
Indeed. I will proceed upstairs.
Trio
And I will
march ever onward, through the loose stone, wooden splinters and shards of broken glass, with Thurston bringing up the rear cautiously, while Inspector Grey and Nara converse, getting to know each other a bit better as they talk, not noticing Thurston getting distracted. Thurston, being the curious and easily distracted Nosferatu he is, walks on his own deeper into the building, finds a well-dressed man sat on his own by a window, illuminated by the pale moonlight shining into the wrecked interior. The well-dressed man looks up at Thurston without even a single flinch, and gives him a warm smile as he looks into Thurston's eyes. "Good evening, sir. Who are you?
I'm here to take out some unsavory people that I was informed are abiding, or not abiding, occupying this building.
And so who are you?
I am Thurston. Why? Who are you asking? Why do you ask?
Because it is good manners. I myself have had many names over the years. I believe it's years. Could be decades. I lose track. Just call me Blank. I believe it's French for white. Please sit with me. I've not been able to enjoy conversation for some time. He gestures to a wooden chair opposite.
Okay. I'll cautiously take a seat.
As Thurston sits, almost instantly, manacles attached to the chair clamp around Thurston's wrists and ankles, restraining him. The well-dressed man stands, and never breaking eye contact with Thurston, slowly walks towards him. Now, let's talk. So, you need to roll composure and resolve. If
I think those stats are good.
If this man gets 10 successes in total over you, you lose all of your memories.
Cool. I'm re-rolling 3 of those.
Ooh.
Fuck off,
Okay.
Shiv.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry,
it's 8.
I thought you just told me to fuck off. Was that right? I think I'm going to do a
No,
willpower reroll.
I'm.
No, you're all right.
I'm just saying.
It's all right.
Yeah, tell him again, Nitro.
Well, you can only willpower reroll once, so.
That's what I'm saying. You won, so now you get to say it as much as you want.
Until
No,
the next
he's
round
not
when we
out.
come back round to you.
Yeah, he'll figure out a way to torture me still.
Inspector Gray and Nara reach further into the building, following the sounds of what seems to be a woman in distress. But as they follow the source of the sound, it becomes more mocking in nature, and they realise as they turn a corner that they've walked right in front of 4 of the almost feral creatures they are supposed to be hunting, and are charged by a man and a woman, as another couple stand behind, laughing at what they assume are easy prey for their companions. I think to make it easier to track, I shall call it for there for now. So, Nara, Gray, first round of combat. Aldric, Eveline and Fury Frenzy. Thurston. 2 out of 10 successes. So far, on the possibility of your mind being completely blanked.
Yay!
Ooh. That sounds like a really powerful ability.
It's happened to me before, hasn't it? As a different character, obviously.
No,
This
that
wasn't?
was a dominate power that was used to make you forget just a small portion.
That's right.
This wipes everything, including possibly advantages.
Fucking Seneschal.
So, on that hopeful cliffhanger, Thurston,
Dun, dun,
who are
dun.
you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I don't know. Where am I? Who are you? Who are any of you?
You
Why am I
haven't
here?
lost your memory yet.
Oh, good.
What's
It hasn't
happened?
changed him in any way.
No, I'm everywhere. I get this wrong every time. I'm practically everywhere at Nitro Type at. Other than that, Shiv and I play video games on Mondays. Also, if you haven't followed the channel and you like play-by-post stuff, go follow the channel because at 400 followers, we're going to start sending out invitations for the play-by-post stuff on our Discord server, which is also linked down below if you would like to join.
Either side of my ribcage, apparently. Aldric, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I am Bully. I run games at my channel Table Goth, which we don't have anything active right now, though we're pre-recording some Cult of Blood God stuff. Otherwise, find all of our stuff on YouTube. That's where our tutorials and streams and stuff like that lives.
And now we will go to possibly the most beautiful, hottest, and elegant member. Nara, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I was expecting Masquerade.
That's what I thought he was
Hello.
gonna do.
Oh my gosh. You're grounded, I'm just letting you know. So I am Ash Daniels. I am an art enthusiast and an avid daydreamer. I also love to collect angry plushies. But you can also find me on social media at Shapeshifter and as Jacqueline Deary on Prince William by Night, Season 2, Night Shift. Big shout out to everyone at the Dark Druid Productions.
Sorry, I forgot to add that into the command.
We're breaking your fucking legs. We'll get that fixed for next week. Or we'll break
Yeah.
your legs again.
For these times to charm.
Eveline, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I am Ms. Hearts. You can find me just about anywhere as Ms. Hearts. I am also going to be in an upcoming show with the Bat City Bombshells Burlesque called Tits or Treats on October 29th here in Austin. It is live only, so you'll have to buy tickets. There's no live streaming on that. I will also be the MC for an upcoming variety show for Homes for the Holidays, which is a fundraiser for Accessible Housing Austin, which provides housing for disabled people. And if you need any graphic design or promotional products, go to gibopromo.com.
Very nice. Last but never least, in the top 0.01% of OnlyFans, Inspector Grey, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
Noscavian, and I play VTM every Thursday with these guys on Table of Horrors, and you can at me in the Discord. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm a tabletop fan.
Yep. I'm just trying to find out who we can go a raiding on.
I
Okay.
regret making that command.
Join us next week for another episode of London by Gaslight. I think that's Oxford by Night as well. Day after.
Yep.
Day after, hour earlier, with the return of Cassandra for that one, I believe. Then there's the week after that, the week that I'm potentially going to be killing myself. No, that's a week's reprieve, isn't it? We're just London by Gaslight. And then a week after that, as
we all
officially
kill
announced
ourselves.
now, I may not even last until that week. We're doing a whole fucking week of tabletop games. Starting
Week of Halloween, by the way.
on Monday the 25th with Demon the Fallen. Confirmed so far is Bully, Cassandra, Halfway through, Vrissa's jumping in. And possibly one other to be confirmed.
I posted the schedule in chat just to make your life a bit easier, Shiv.
Thank you. Wraith, Tuesday, 26, with wonderful Nara, the wonderful Eveline, Canadian Syrup, who's not so wonderful, the wonderful Aldric, and, oh yeah, the wonderful Patricia. Day after that, I'm not DMing, thank God. Darkest House. Tell us about Darkest House, Eveline.
Darkest House is a one-shot made by Monte something games, which is not meant to be a one-shot. It's meant to be included in a bigger game, but to fit into any game. So we may have a cast of characters from many different tabletop games. And I actually don't know who's confirmed for that.
I am.
I'll be there.
Hey! Those two are. I think Team is coming back on for that too.
I think so. For that,
And Shiver.
Yeah. Can I be Noscavian in the game?
Yeah.
I'm tempted to
I
do
guess that means I'll be playing as Shiv.
I'm not going
That
to
would
do
be funny.
Although that does actually sound quite amusing.
That would be funny.
Thursday. Mystery game. Potentially a tabletop game, potentially not a tabletop game. We'll see
No
how the
tabletop.
drugs flow.
That's
Saturday, 30th, Lancer. Thurston. Tell us about Lancer.
Oh, I thought you did you say Friday? Did you do Friday?
Does it say? Did you say
Hey,
Friday?
it's Oxford by Night as regular. Special Halloween episode.
And then Saturday the 30th, I'm doing Lancer, which is a system that it's a little difficult to make a one-shot in, but I'm planning on making it very, very spooky. So if you like sci-fi or horror, definitely come check that out.
And then, rounding it off, Sunday the 31st is Homeworld. Preview of the not quite released yet Homeworld Revelations from Modiphius. Hopefully for that is Eris of Relay. Silence of Insanity. Commander Llama. Yeah. Commander Llama of Alpaca fame. Dead Western of Hanging Around in Our Community fame. And Thurston of Disabled Car Parking Spot fame.
Okay.
What, you want me to say that you're the hurdle champion?
No, it makes my head hurt.
So join us for one, some, none, any, all of those. And just see as my eyes deteriorate. We'll go raiding on Soul Citizens, because we know them. But we can't go until Nara says a line.
Okay. Could be anything at all. Anything at all.
Anything
Yeah.
you want at all.
Okay. I see the world with my eyes closed and my heart wide open. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening.